Welcome everyone to the start of a new series on Strategic Command World War I. In this series, I will be facing off against a play-by-email opponent who is none other than Agrippa Maxenius. He runs a fine YouTube channel of his own. Of course, there will be a link to his channel in the video description. So feel free to check out this whole series from his perspective. Now, as you'd imagine, we have to establish some house rules for sharing of information. Agrippa and I will be recording a couple of episodes ahead, so that even if information is leaked, it hopefully won't be too detrimental. But that said, there's a very strict no revealing of other side information. And if you want to really engage in the strategy, I don't know, if you really want to engage in the strategy, and I even just recommend that you don't watch the other person's side. Go ahead and commit yourself to one person or the other if you really want to be involved in the strategy making and leaving, comments that unfortunately are going to be arriving well in the past. But otherwise, if you watch both, you just have to be smart enough to discern between what is a general strategy and what might have, even in the slightest way, been influenced by the content you watched from the other side. So without harping on that too much, just use your common sense. I feel like I am just always impressed by the community, is what I would prefer to say, that I've tried to cultivate, or that has been cultivated on my channel. The people on my Discord and the people in the comments sections, I feel like this is an exceptional place on YouTube. So thank you for being, serving as the redeeming side of humanity. That said, so we're jumping into the game now. This is turn 1. Well, I guess my turn 1. This is actually turn 2. Agrippa's already taken his turn, and as you can tell, he has chosen to invade through the west. I was actually really hoping that he would attack Russia first, because I really wanted to see what that looks like from the Entente side. So, I mean, I don't know if it's obvious, but I am playing as the Entente for this series, which should be a nice little change of pace from playing as the Central Powers, that's a series. It actually has not even finished yet, but again, we're going to start recording some of these episodes ahead of time. So what are we going to be doing? I have to make sure I'm recording, otherwise this will probably be a long first episode, because I want to stop and think about everything, but I mean, where exactly do we want to go? What do we want to do? It's tough. It's a very tough call. How do we want to deal with this incoming onslaught? Well, we want to try to get into a good defensive position to block his advance into Belgium, and hopefully stop him from advancing into France. In fact, even though I normally almost never deploy my units until the end of the turn, because why not deploy them when you have the most information? This is a kind of a no-brainer to me that we want to deploy here and here, because we're only allowed to deploy these around the capital. It's just a special deployment cycle. And we don't have enough points to really do anything. The only thing we can do is maybe reinforce a few people. We have another big decision to make. Do we reinforce Brussels, or do we just try to entrench? Do we want to entrench, or do we want to... We're probably dead either way. So it's not going to be... I don't know. To me, it's not... We don't have much of a chance in hell. I don't think it's right to just abandon Brussels, so I think we will defend. Yeah, and I think that they've already correctly outlined the proper defense. So that's entrenchment 1 out of 3. It'll give us some small bonus. These guys are just gonna entrench as well. I'm gonna have this guy move down to Lille. I've never figured out how to pronounce this. And the reason I'm gonna move this one here is because I actually care less. I do care, but I care less about Ypres, which I'm sure is going to fall in due time. I care less about that than I do about Lille. And there's another reason, even though this is not quite as good of a reason. I'm hoping that I want to slow their advance to the northwest as much as possible. Basically, we want to force them to dig in. We want to force the digging in to happen as far to the east as possible, which preserves more points for France, puts us in a more advantageous position. So to this point, I'm gonna move this unit to Lille, whatever. Again, I don't know. I'm sorry. And then we still have enough points to reinforce. I mean to entrench. I don't know where the entrenchment will happen on this one. I guess I will have the entrenchment happen facing south as well, because it might just happen that we lose the mine first. Now, every movement that we do, we have to kind of meditate on it, right? So we can do this. Do we have enough people, by the way? Do we have enough people to stop them from advancing too far? Probably not. I don't think that we're going to have an ability to hold anything adjacent to the German forces. Yeah, I strongly think that our best move is going to be... this is going to be a long episode, by the way. I'm going to be thinking about a lot of things out loud. I'm going to refine things in future videos, but just hold on to your horses here. I'm just talking this out as I'm going, so this will be a long video. And in subsequent videos, I'll use a lot more pausing and cut through a lot of the dialogue. But not in this first video. I'm going to expose all the inner workings. So if you're a little bit bored by this one, you might even just skip the first episode altogether. Anyway, I think I'm going to do this and then move this guy here. The question is, do we want to try to hold here? Because I guess we'll move this guy out as well, and he will hold here. It's a terrible place for him, unfortunately, because he could get to Reims, but then he can't entrench, and I do not want to do that. So let's do this. Entrench. We just need to buy time. That's all we're trying to do here. Buy time. Get this guy to go here. And I don't want to... I'm going to be on the defensive. That looks good. And now the question is, where does this unit go? And I think the answer is here. We've committed. Okay. We can pull this guy here. I like it. Okay, so this area is at least defended well. Verdun, we're just going to let sit. We all know about Verdun. We don't need to worry about Verdun for a while. Let's go ahead and take these guys and put them onto automatic, or take them off automatic. I should have deployed them. I'm going to be a lot better about this in the future. I think we'll probably just take points to reinforce that, but okay. How are we going to deal with this situation? Let's use our destroyers against their submarine. It didn't work too well, did it? Do we have another destroyer? This guy's annoying. So what do we have here? Can I just... I guess I'll use my destroyer. I wish I could take that back. I wanted him to move here, which would have been perfect. Would have scouted the front. Well, anyways, this submarine's not going to move anywhere now. Unfortunately, we don't... Okay, we do have another destroyer who can be called into action. Even these things which don't appear to be doing anything, we are removing supply from the submarine, and eventually with enough supply points damaged. Yeah, they're... Okay, let me... Okay, we have a French destroyer too. Hey, this is good. This is good. Hey! We did some damage. Hooray. So now I guess we'll sit here. I don't know. Let me cut back to the naval side. Let's... Come on. ADD. Swear. Let's focus on this right now. Okay. So we want to move somebody north with this. I think that that's going to be this HQ. We'll move him right here. He's going to be a little bit vulnerable to attack, but we'll see how it goes. I'm already feeling... I honestly am not feeling too bad about this. I think on my first terms, I conquered Reims. So just to put things in perspective, there's some hope left in the defense, this defense. Let's get you to be automatic as well. I think that you... Okay, so you're Dubail, you're a rating of 4. We will leave you on this part because the Castle News is going to be needed probably... I think we'll even have you... I don't want you entrenching in Tool. I would much rather somebody else eventually getting there, but... This is a 4. Okay, so where are you going to move? We don't really need anybody else there. We'll have you move here. We'll have this unit. Interesting. Can you get there? I am not sure how this is going to go. I guess, what's their morale? They're coming in at 50%. It might be better to have this guy coming in as well. I think we're honestly going to hold him, hopefully at Amiens. Hopefully we can hold him there. So let's... I don't know where to defend. I guess we're going to want to push... Let's see, he's going to push here. So I'm a little surprised, but it looks like he's going to leave this front alone. It's giving us one turn to at least entrench, which is great. Hooray for us. We'll probably move this unit back, though, into Epinal. There's no reason. Epinal's a 10. So supply is just not going to be an issue for the HQs. Their job is not to supply, but it seems that their job is actually just to make sure that we have some unit commanding them. Yeah, so I think we'll probably... Cancel. We'll probably end up moving this guy backwards. I see absolutely no reason to move forward and just be pounded. Let's at least make them come do that. I think we'll entrench here, and maybe we'll just entrench here for now. He gave us one turn. I don't know why he gave us a turn not doing anything. Okay, let's just make this... Yeah. Do this. I'm going to... Left, right, and up. Left, right, and up. Left, right, up. Okay, I mean, yeah, bottom right, bottom, top right, up. I'm going to go ahead and try to defend that. If we take too much damage, then we'll just pull back. We probably will. One thing which... I mean, this could be great. He could be just this master strategist who has intentionally invaded Brussels and has actually deployed a lot of his forces to the east. We are yet to know anything like that. So... That means you are in the forest, so you will also just entrench. And we'll continue the entrenchments. That was a mistake. I would rather have that guy actually defending this as well. So this unit, he'll probably move here, and we'll probably put the HQ back in Tool to... I don't know. Look at this, just... I should have put him here, and that unit should be here. It's just stupid. I'm just a big dummy. But let's go ahead and let's put him in Paris. Can't even swap because these guys are grade. So... Okay, well, I think we're done with this. We have more units over there to move, but let's move. Actually, let's see how we're doing at the end of the turn. No, with only 30 points, this guy is not going to be able to... So probably this is going to be a person who does recon. Might be a little aggressive to move him into Chalon. I do want to know. I mean, this is so... Information is so pivotal. I don't want to take up Amiens because I think that's where the British... BEF is going to be deploying. Now, unfortunately, you missed the replay. So you are not seeing anything with what happened, and the reason for that is I just opened the game to test if the play-by-email was working and everything, and the replay happened. I don't know any way to rewatch the replay, and if anybody from the Strategic Command Development team is watching this, I would greatly like it if there was an option to review the replay again. It's just, it seems like it's bad form not to allow the person to see something which is so crucial, the enemy's turn. Somebody wrote that down. One of my assistant commanders, one of my armchair generals has written that down, I'm sure, so give me that information. Alright, I'm probably going to pause here and then develop my plan a little bit further, so let me do that. Alright, so next up I think we will be doing the naval side. And I'll have to pause again after that because I won't know what I'm doing afterwards. But yeah, let's go ahead and use our light cruisers as scouts. Might as well move the French destroyers forward as well. But these are the ones who I want to use as scouts. And let me see the reach of my rearmost. Yeah, that submarine is actually extremely well placed. So I can get up to here with my frontmost. I can get here. So let's let this line, the line from Amsterdam, be the line of effect. So they do not appear to have placed forces in this vicinity. Okay. I think we should verify that. And since we can't attack anything which is further, they're probably doing the smart thing, which is not coming out. But I'm going to deploy aggressively. My plan right now is just to enforce the northern blockade with light cruisers. I think this is the best thing to enforce it with. I'm going to leave one dreadnought up here as well, just so that we have a... Essentially, it's like a QRF. I want all the destroyers... Actually, one destroyer up here makes sense as well. Maybe two. I don't know yet. Let's put one dreadnought here. Otherwise, let's keep them... Probably just keep them... Yeah, I'll put a dreadnought here. That's fine. A destroyer at this one. And maybe a dreadnought at this one. A light cruiser at this one. And a destroyer at this one. Okay, I like that. So we have a pretty good reaction force. We're not blockading all the points, but that's very intentional. Now, I'm not sure I want to disrupt this trade, because this is supposed to drive Norway towards the Axis. So I might leave this line of points open. Or do I want to... So it's a lot different. When I was playing as the Central Powers, everything was about... It was always, in my opinion, about let's win the early game. Let's win the early game. Let's push and win the early game. And also, I mean, to completely show something which is contrary to the point that I'm just making, I was also heavily investing in research for the late game. I mean, research is probably just necessary even to keep even as the game goes forward. So we didn't spot them, and I was wondering what to do with this unit. I could be so bold as to risk him and certain death. I don't think we should do that, though. So I want to move them in a way where I know when the... Yeah, I probably want to move them like this, though, because what I actually want to do is move all these light cruisers to enforce the blockade. So that's a good idea. I'll have a good idea of whether or not they're doing anything. And I want to leave these guys far enough away that if they choose to attack, they don't have the ability to make it home, so that I can react. And to that point, I think that I ought to... We do have another light cruiser here. Good. So do we care? So again, now it's a wonder, am I working for the short game or the early game or the late game? I think I'm going to go with it. I think I'm going to go ahead and work for the early game. This might end up pissing them off, but I actually have to set that person to a raider, so honestly, a submarine is better there. Do we not have submarines, though? I think we only have submarines in the Mediterranean. There's one. It's going to be a lot of work to bring that up. And this one has plenty of things to blockade. Well, actually, it doesn't right now. Oh, and this person is sitting right on my line. Dang you. I wonder if these light cruisers can do any damage. I highly, highly doubt it. So, yeah, we have a whole Serbian front to look at, but let's continue to focus on the naval side of things. Let's go ahead and take a chance on getting this destroyer to attack. It worked. Perfect. And he lands in port, which is nice. So we're just slowly trying to get this submarine out of here. Supply of 5, and the good news is now to get out, he's going to have to face my destroyer. Even if he comes with reinforcements, so we do want to put a battleship here. Absolutely need to put a battleship here to defend my destroyers. I think one right here. And one right here. Oh, we have 4 battleships here. The old... This is... okay, let me see if I get this right. This is the Atlantic Fleet. And this is the home fleet, I think. battlecruiser. This, I kind of want to leave this hidden from the enemy. So I think what I'll do is put my battleship... Ooh, I actually need to repair those battleships, though. There's no way I can leave it hidden from the enemy unless I put it into this port. I do want it closer, though, so I guess I'm going to do that. Okay, let's move it here. Cherbourg's not likely to fall this turn. Knock on wood. So hopefully we're okay. Let's move this into Ypres as well. Not that it's going to matter much, but we probably will start. This guy might eventually move back here or over here if Belgium starts falling. This is going to be kind of fun. I mean, I know that we're going to lose a lot, but the question is how do we minimize the amount we're going to lose? And we're off to a good start. We're giving the German subs a good licking. Yeah, so we have the ability to actually impact this blockade a little bit more. I think I'm just going to go ahead and stick these guys on this distant blockade. The light cruisers to me are the worst units. They probably are good like polish off units. So I'm going to do this, and I'm going to swap this guy back down here so that we have somebody who has the ability to move quickly. Actually, how much can you move? I regret this. I should have had... Yeah, obviously. It's obvious, isn't it? Where he should be. Can't undo movements, though. So we'll have this guy stick here for now, and then next turn we're going to move this guy over here, and this dreadnought... How many? We have 2 dreadnoughts in this line? That's already enough. Let's move 2 dreadnoughts into position. They can strike with our battleships. Try not to risk anything if we can help it. Okay, alright, so that is, I think, the naval side of things done. These two, I think I'll just put this into port. So it's closer, but they need to be repaired, and I don't think we're going to be doing naval repairs anytime soon. Honestly, I'm so sure of that, we might as well even just let this go. Yeah, I don't know. I'll think about it and come back. The next front is... Let's go to the Serbian front. This is a little more manageable. I think I want to swap these two, so let's look at this map without the units on it. Belgrade's going to be something good. Right now this guy has no entrenchment, so we can swap these two, and then it's going to be brutal. We're probably going to lose this unit, but I think this is a solid place to defend. How many points do these guys have? This is... Okay, I need to see. Diplomacy, who fights as... Oh my gosh. Serbia is its own... Has its own, that's right. So we have 25 points available. Where to spend these? Honestly, I think we're going to spend it on the detachments. Because those are easier to replace. Oh my gosh. I don't think I'm going to use this tool. I actually want to do like incremental. I want to just actually reinforce this guy probably like 3 points. That costs 11. We only have 25, so if we can do that, we can get this guy up to 8, this guy up to 8. That's rough. I want to... Okay, I think... I know what I need to do. I need to move this guy in, swap, have him fortify, and have this guy sit here. I mean, look, they're not. I don't think they can blitz in and take this, so I'm just gonna leave him here. We'll think about healing him entirely, or yeah, we can probably swap with this unit. Entrench, just to buy some time. And now we have the ability to... Who do we want to heal? Let's move this guy up. Try to entrench here as well. Okay. We do need somebody here. This guy's just going to entrench where he is. Okay, the downside is if I... Okay, I don't think... Let's see. This is a hill. This is a hill. Okay, good. So it's way too expensive. Unless they have a unit here, they cannot move in here on the next turn. So I'm actually going to pull this unit back. And the reason I'm going to do that is to give Belgrade a chance to retreat. I'm okay. We're going to lose Belgrade, right? It's a given. It's going to happen. But the good news is, if we can just buy a little bit more time, I think this guy's going to move here. If we can just buy a little bit of time, slow him down a little bit, that's all we want to do, is keep trying to slow him down. So I'm giving this a defensive, I'm trying to make it so that the Belgrade unit, if he takes too many losses, he can retreat, which actually saves some of the losses that he's bound to take. And he is bound to take them. This unit, to me, is the most important unit to heal. So I think we're going to we're going to use all our points on him, and then we have 7 points left, and I don't know why this one we moved already. Yeah, so we'll use the rest of our points, getting that guy up to 7. Okay, I'm okay with this. Let's also get this guy up here as quick as possible. Huh. This is 4, but this is 4. Okay, I think this is probably the best opportunity. What is this? Field, so it's not extra movement cost. Okay, I think I'm going to move him here so we can react in any way that we want. Okay, good. So Serbia is done. I don't think we can do anything with the French fleet, but let me take that. Let me just pause. Okay, let's start doing this fleet dance. Let's get this light cruiser up. Lots of submarines we have here. So it's a pretty ferocious navy, all told. It's definitely worrisome. I think in the hands of a player, this is going to be a lot better than what we saw in the against the AI series. So let's get this. This is my armor. The armor cruiser is what I'm going to dangle as bait here. Here's a question. Can light cruisers deploy? No. So we need a destroyer in this area. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna get this carrier. Eek. Yeah, I'm gonna have him move down because my hope is he can do anti-submarine warfare against their submarine. So get a move on. And this submarine is actually gonna go. We don't need the submarines here. We want them in the north. So this guy's gonna make his way north. I did not know what to do with that guy. This battleship is gonna move back. Yeah. This light cruiser. Maybe it's good to have one person to sit here and block the area so that they can't move through. Yeah, I think so. We'll just leave this guy. I don't know how it works. What the heck just happened? How did I get over there? Oh my gosh. Okay, so do we move all these guys? Not yet. We do have this submarine, which I'm going to try to sneak in. And submarines, I believe, can lay mines, right? No? Maybe the French don't have mine laying yet. I don't think we can sneak that way after all. We'll see. We'll figure. I mean, next turn we'll know. Okay, so that's our bait that we're dangling. We'll leave the dreadnought kind of around. We'll put this guy into port so that. Oh, that's no. We need him actually to go to a French port, which is here. Because the dreadnoughts I don't want to lose easily. Dreadnoughts are, like, in my opinion, the keys to the kingdom. This light cruiser is pretty weak as well. I guess we'll line him up for. Well, I mean, we're just never gonna have a chance to make him better. So he'll ride flank of this dreadnought. This one as well. Or should we just put him in here? Maybe you can. Let's just do it as a test. Let's see if we can actually use him for points. So the fleet's coming. I think that's all we need to do down here. We moved everyone. Okay. This garrison's going to stay. Okay, so that means that we've done everything except for the hardest thing, in my opinion. The Eastern Front. I'll need to think about it. Well, this is just so interesting. Man, you don't understand how the wheels are really cranking in my brain right now. There's so much interesting stuff going on here. I'm going to move this light cruiser up. Instead of defending Gibraltar, where I think that's just pretty much a dead space, a void of activity. Let's get this light cruiser up who can maybe help blockade north of Ireland. So we can send ships that we don't want to do that up there. That's just something I was thinking about off camera. And also because I was trying to think about what to do with the Russian Navy. Now this is unplanned. I have no idea what's going to go on here, but I do want to send my light cruiser forward. Very nervous. Okay, I think I'll send my armored cruiser forward now. I don't think he's going to do any games with me, which is okay. Okay, so we can send our destroyer forward, and I think we'll mine this directly right here. Yeah, that seems okay to me. Then we'll lure them as bait, maybe? And I think we only have the ability to lay one mine. Hopefully that's enough. We'll leave this destroyer in reserve. I think I'll even move him up here. Let's get this battleship here. And that's good for now. Okay, so we've deployed our navy in a, I don't know if you'd call it a sensible manner or not. Now the hardest part of this whole video, this whole first turn, to me is we have to make a really big, so you're always reactive on the defensive. We have to start enacting a plan. We can always change course later, but you know, the momentum's going to start building towards one objective, and then if we change it, we're going to have to start over. Things that I'm considering. A movement in to take Königsberg. A movement in to take the Galician oil fields to push heavily against the Austro-Hungarians. A kind of insane push to cut off the entire Königsberg area. This would be essentially taking the Danzig corridor, even something west of the Danzig corridor, and forcing a response, pulling people off the western front. I mean, even if we just try to push heavily in here, they don't have that many units. I know. I played as them. One of the interesting things that happened is my forces here should have deployed right here. However, he took Proskorov on the first turn. I think my first order of business is actually to scout out what that actually means. Unfortunately, I want to move him here. I don't want to. I want to move him here because okay, guess we move him here. Okay, I really want to know if Tarnopol was occupied or not. I think it's not. So we're going to try to attack and eliminate this unit in Proskorov, which I don't know what the defense of Proskorov is, but at least we come prepared. I mean, we come well positioned to do that. You can have 6 units. You can have more. Yeah, but this guy's taking these guys. Okay, good. Let's set you as well. So these two are covered by that guy. So this is fine. Alright, so let's begin the attack. Let's move here. We may just want to surround him, depending on how bad these ratios are, which are not looking, by the way, frankly, so amazing. Okay, Tarnopol is definitely available to be conquered, so we will, of course, conquer it. And that's an exchange I'm willing to take, especially thinking, as we do right now at least think, that we can probably eliminate this unit in Proskorov, even if it's at great casualties, and then move, I think they have a unit in Czernowitz, unless this is the unit from Czernowitz. We won't be able to find that out this turn, unfortunately. Let's start with this guy. No, let's start with this guy. Okay, that went 2-2. That went well. Let's do this guy next. Okay, a 2-2, that's fine. I'm completely okay with that. Okay, that was a 1-2. We're starting to get there. Got him. The HQ can conquer. All right. The brave Russian army has advanced competently, to the shock and amazement of, well, not that many people, considering this is only against the Austro-Hungarians. Now, I did use up my cavalry movement in order to do that, so hopefully that doesn't come back to bite us in the bum. Okay, so let's move him. I think we're going to do it. I think this guy's just going to go in. Okay, so now we need to start positioning troops. A 3, a 4. So I'm going to have the cavalry... I'm going to have this guy come in here first. He's going to do... Ooh, 2-0. 1. Okay, let's do this. Ended up at 2-2. We are, by the way, getting incredibly lucky so far. Which I am... Let's just face the facts. I mean, we are getting very lucky. And I could really use it. Let's do this 2-2 next. Okay, that went 2-1, so, you know, I spoke about it. Now, of course, it's cursing me. Oh, a 1-3. And we can take it. You think I'm gonna let you go? You got another thing coming! Ha 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 ha! Sweet victory. Sweet, sweet victory. Oh my gosh, I'm drinking this in. This is so exhilarating. So yeah, I think we'll move our HQ here. This guy's not really defending anything in particular. So I think we'll just move him into the forest and entrench him as a stopgap. I cannot wait to watch this from Agrippa's perspective. How do we want to defend? I guess I don't... If he pushes here, we'll counterattack strongly. His attack may come from the top left, though, so yeah, I think I'm okay with exactly that. Okay. Lublin's going to entrench for now. So this is one push. We are going to try to push to Cernowitz. We're going to try to take as much as we can over here before their army moves back into position. It still doesn't answer what I want to do with the majority of my... I mean, okay, the majority of my Russian forces is this entire southern area. But there's also some interesting things to think about in terms of what do we do with this? Like, there's no... One of the problems is there's not a whole lot of supply. In my head, I was like, oh, this is so easy. Why don't we just attack through? We could just, you know, let's just go right to Allenstein. You'd have a hard time getting your troops supplied to get there. I guess it's a 5. It's a 4 here, which we want to avoid. But I mean, the higher supply, the more effective they fight. So to me, if I bring that up one more time, to me the entrance point should be Grodno. Okay, it won't. I have to redo it. Is that what you're saying? Okay, fine. Let's do this. Yeah, oh no, it works. Yeah, the entrance point should be Grodno, because we can get to Johannesburg with the 10. So this is what I'm going to do. I really don't know if this is the right move, but I am going to push this unit like here. And I'm going to push this HQ here. Let's also get him to be, at least for next turn, in the blue. So I want to do it, I want to make this sneaky. Like so. And get this guy to defend. I think we ought to defend like this. So we defend on both sides from the road, which is good. These guys are just going to entrench for now. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to wait for reinforcements, basically. Yeah, south side and top left is fine. Go ahead. I would prefer not to be entrenching with... Like, just do this. Okay, this is interesting. They could be trying something here. Now I regret everything. Why didn't I just scout first? Okay, let's have this guy entrenched then. I think I'm okay with it, though. he can't push everywhere. I'll make this a priority. We will be able to deploy some units. I don't know if we can take a unit out of the capital, but they can't invade very easily. So, like, I'd like to pull these guys out. I mean, this doesn't make sense. I should be operating them to the front, but I guess let's just force march them. Okay, let's just force march them. They'll get to the capital. I mean, we're gonna hit their morale. It's gonna weaken their morale for a bit, but they're gonna get there faster. So let's do it. Okay, and we don't have to spend points that way. I think we're done. Oh my gosh, 43 minutes. That's really remarkable. What? I just don't know what we're gonna be doing with this whole mess. Yeah, I think it's actually important for us to do this. I want to see what he has here. Nothing. It can't be true. Six. This would be a 5? No, this is a 6. How? It's not, because I'd have to own this. There must be a unit in Johannesburg. Why else would we not have captured this? So I'm going to go ahead and sit here and just entrench one turn. We really need to figure out if that's legit. Are they really there or not? So we'll wait here. We'll defend in the forest. Prepare to take some hits, but hey, all in the name of scouting. We're willing to do these things in the name of scouting. Supply. Let's move you one little closer. I want you there anyway. Yeah, so if I do this, I could do this, but then I risk, if there's a unit in Johannesburg, I risk taking, yeah, I mean, they could be mounting a big push for Riga. We will be able to counter that, I think. It's going to be really interesting. If this happens, it's going to end up like World War I on the Western Front, but on the Eastern Front. They're going to have their, Slitherine to Riga, and we're going to have an opportunity to come underneath and cut it up, just like the French, in theory, did. Slitherine, undercut. So we're going to have our chance. It's going to be who strikes better, and the Germans definitely have better units. So that's going to be this is so fascinating to me. We need to push, though. I think we need to force them to reveal information. Okay, we have this cavalry. What do we want to do with them? Move and then entrench. Their artillery is here. I think they're planning an offensive in the north. Yeah, he deployed his cavalry here. He did. He deployed his cavalry here. He deployed his artillery here. Warning, warning, danger, Will Robinson. Isn't this so cool how we're getting information? Even though part of the coolness is realizing that we're being outmaneuvered. But that's so cool. So how do we contest this? I think we shift one unit over to strengthen our whatever it is going to be. They're weak here. I think that this is true that they are weak here. We'll find out next turn, but we don't actually want to defend there. We kind of have the information I wanted. So I'm going to go back and just defend. I don't like that. Let me pause and think. Okay, I'm really thinking about this. So they have a cavalry here. I don't want that guy to spot me immediately. They spot what? 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3. I'm going to put this infantry here as a reserve force. We have a reserve line. I don't want to lose Lodz. Try our best. I will rotate this one so it's like this. And this one will defend in the mirror position. This artillery, the cavalry, you can already see where he's going to end up. It's going to move here. So we get a little bit more information. Not really. Here, so we get a little bit more information. And then he's going to move back. Okay, so this is my final positions there. Yeah, I still think this is okay. We're going to reinforce this area. If they push towards Riga, it's going to be rough. But I think we can make it. It's going to take them a little bit while to move forces from the west to the east if they end up doing that. So the rest of these units just need to entrench in place. I feel like, I don't know, probably, it didn't really matter. Do the same theme with this guy. And can you entrench? No, of course not. You've been attacking. I kind of don't know if they can repel me from this, and hopefully this is a big enough bloody nose that they don't try whatever they were going to try, because I honestly don't know. The game of questions here, just there's so many interesting things. So there might be a few I's to cross, and I's to dot and T's to cross, but I think we're good here for this turn. So I'll go ahead and see if there's anything else off camera, and I will make those adjustments. We probably won't even see the results of those if I do find anything. Some of the naval side I'll probably touch up on, but I'm going to bring this episode to a close. This is extremely exciting. I hope you'll stay with me for this series, at least the first few episodes, because I'm going to be looking forward to the comments and just talking back and forth with you guys about what I was thinking at this time. But until the next episode, Viva England, Viva la France, Viva Russia, and Viva l'Entente!